God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 56 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Well, as I said in my last episode, I'm going to go through my own personal experiences and the few times I have involved the law. The police department, very few at that. It's a Southern thing that was instilled in me and that I was taught by my grandparents and my brother. Never involve the law. It's almost like a line that you don't want to cross. Don't play with someone else's freedom unless you absolutely have to. You're forced to. As I've said, my mom wasn't built like that. She not only called the police out on me, but she called them out on my brother several times and other family members as well. She didn't have the same loyalty as my brother had and that I have. So, being taught that, I have never used the local police department excessively. No, not at all. But it's amazing to me, the few times that I have, never no justice. It's always swept under a rug, almost like I don't exist. I don't matter. I'm a third-class citizen. I'm not a taxpayer, even though my paycheck stubs tell me otherwise. So first, I'll start off with the first time I called the police to my house, or to assist me in any way, in at least 12 years. There might have been a couple of false ADT alarms in there. Before that, I was involved with someone that was abusive in every way. So I'm a survivor of domestic abuse, and no, I haven't gotten to that on my journey, but I soon will. So 12 years, no calls from our home. Again, maybe ADT. I was married to my kid's dad at this time. No domestic violence calls. No calls at all. Well, I would just say something happened away from our home that my husband at that time and I felt like we needed to report. Definitely something that affected us, our kids. So he and I discussed it and then decided to call 911 and have a report made, a police report. We were calm, just again, felt like we needed a police report. So the dispatch told me, we'll send a car out. Okay, the police officer shows up. He had a complete attitude right off the start, hollering at my husband and I, denied our police report completely. He left so hostile that he slammed our front door so hard and knocked a picture off of my wall and broke it. I assume he did what he was told to do, from the higher ups, direct orders. Leave my house without making a report. He did. What he never fathomed, I am sure, is that shortly after that, I was walking up our city hall steps. Yes, I was. I don't get mad. I get determined. I don't run on emotions. I run on principle. As I was walking up the steps, that very same police officer was walking out of City Hall, looking all proud of himself for a minute, until he seen me. Jaw dropped. I laughed and I told him he better walk right back in those doors and get on that magic phone and call upstairs and tell them I am here. I'm in the building and I'm going to get my police report now, in which I did. When you never call the law, the police to your home, and when you do, you get treated like that in your own home. What? Bizarre to say the least. And if you think that's bizarre and unheard of, hang tight. I got something to speak about that not only was completely illegal, that I'm quite sure not too many people will be able to relate to what I was put through, the experience that I had that traumatized me and locked me down with anxiety and depression. I was scared to leave my house. My anxiety was so severe that I quit my job and I barely even walked out of my front door for a year and a half. Anxiety is no joke, and you can't relate unless you yourself have personally experienced it. Grateful for my husband that truly loved and helped me in any way he could. He was patient with me. He knew I was traumatized. It showed. I gained 50 pounds. It was the biggest I'd ever been in my life, except when I was pregnant with my kids. So, yes, what I experienced and that I will be speaking on next Tuesday's podcast was a horrible injustice done to me. And yes, did I try and report it? I sure did. But that good old boy system overrode again. I didn't get no justice. I got trauma, anxiety, depression, so severe I couldn't leave my house. It's a right that I was assured by an attorney who knew me, knew the dysfunction in which I was raised in, knew in my family that things changed like the wind. That attorney that is now deceased, but he did assure me that yes, when whatever happened, that I was born with the rights that were later illegally stripped from me. And everyone in our justice system turned a blind eye and allowed those to seemingly get by with what they did. Also, I can't end today's podcast without telling everyone how God moves once again. He has done a lot of moves in my life. He lets me see justice in His own ways. Just have to be patient. God sees and hears everything. He's not blind nor deaf. And even those might think they got by with whatever at that given time, they didn't get by with anything. Justice may not come in the forms we might like or think it should, but it comes. That police officer that was so hostile and hollered and screamed at my husband at the time and I, well, he later on down the road got convicted of excessive force. You think, didn't take a rocket scientist to know that was coming. God bless. God works in mysterious ways. And I do want to make it clear, not all police officers are bad police officers. No. I've had the pleasure of knowing some amazing police officers. Our school security was also city police officers. They were the right men for the job. Great with us kids. Gave us kids people to look up to. And I've been close to mayors. I've been close to chief of police that were amazing, like dads to me. So there are a lot of really good, by the book police officers. But sadly, a few bad apples can definitely spoil one's confidence in our system. James 1, verse 2 and 3. When storms rise against you and the road feels heavy, do not let fear or discouragement take root. Instead, rejoice, even here, even now. Every trial you face is not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen you. I am using these challenges to refine your faith, to build you in perseverance that cannot be shaken. Trust my hand in the process, for I am shaping you into who I have called you to be. This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me next Tuesday. Listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been